Alright folks, a quick video today about some of the most common despicable behavior on the most popular social media platforms right now, fraudulent complaint claims, and censorship as a whole. Holy hell, was that Viper actually doing some sort of basic title card with a musical accent? Yep, sure was, but enough about my video editing prowess, I've got a point to make. You see, I've faced this issue a couple of times now, each time from the same sort of cry-bully individuals who knowingly court opposition in order to feign victimhood, which they then proceed to, or at least attempt to, weaponize against those with whom they disagree. My first contact incident with this sort of behavior came from a fellow named Mike Riverso, whom I exposed as a blatant hypocrite for his attempts to demonize polite men's rights activists, like myself, although I know I'm not always polite, while claiming to be a quote-unquote force for good on the internet, and who assert that he is a, quote, tech geek who can talk to anyone. Well, apparently not quite anyone. Now, I did a little live examination of Mike's public social media profiles, which he linked to, and he linked to each other, from his Twitter, LinkedIn, and other sites, and exposed him for being the two-faced individual that he is, and for my troubles, I received a privacy violation complaint, alleging I had somehow done something that Mike himself hadn't done when promoting these sites and profiles to the public. I emailed the YouTube support team and edited my video's description with a message to them, as I knew that they had to review the material in the description as well to verify his claims, and I left it at that, pending their investigation. Shock horror, I was found to have done nothing in violation of YouTube's terms of service, and life went on as usual. Albeit for except for the old Streisand effect having helped to boost that particular live stream, so in a way, I guess I owe Mikey Boy a thank you for helping to promote my video. Cheers, bud. You see, this isn't a hard system within which to play the game. It's really not. All you need to do to keep your nose clean is to ensure that any information you publish is publicly provided at the time of your recording by the individual to whom you are referencing, and you've demonstrated consent to have said information distributed on public forums. That's it. You've done it. And this undermines any privacy violation complaint under YouTube's own guidelines, which state, and I quote, "We also take public interest, newsworthiness, and consent into account when determining if content should be removed for a privacy violation." Now, this is something that many people do not seem to understand, and I say that they seem ignorant because I can't attribute malice to every incident of this happening. However, one case in which I do feel warranted in claiming it is both knowingly fraudulent and downright malicious is my most recent interaction, that being with a woman who goes by various monikers, including Miranda B Boyce, Ontario Summer, Khaleesi, as if that isn't a completely played out nickname by this point, and a number of other names when she is impersonating other individuals in attempts to harass, intimidate, and silence them. Now, terrible name-based puns aside, Miranda's case is actually somewhat useful, as it gives me an example of how another part of YouTube's privacy guidelines can be used against those just waiting for any excuse to try and flag your content. And I'm even going to let you in on this secret here. Here's how it works. Step 1. Identify the crybully personality in the individual. Step 2. Call them out for this negative behavior and do so in a polite and matter-of-fact way. 3. Be sure to use their provided information, such as a Twitter handle, gamer tag, or other information which can only be verified by them as being their actual personal information, and then wait for the false claim to roll in. You see, these people follow a playbook that can be very adequately countered by following the principles behind a popular quote from Mahatma Gandhi. First, they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. You see, at first, this type of individual will try to dismiss you if they even choose to acknowledge you at all. Then, if your posts pop up on their radar again or show up through the page of someone with whom they associate, they will try to mock you and discredit you. If you've been playing it on the straight and narrow, however, their attempts can be countered and will fail. Next, upon realizing that they failed to stop you through dismissal and mockery, they will attack you with whatever they can, often overextending themselves or using tactics that, mired in their own anger and frustration at their failure to silence you thus far, they will not have given proper thought. They will get lazy or careless. This is the point at which we find the Miranda Boyce saga. Lazy, careless, and in this case, fraudulent attacks on my content. You see, Miranda, having failed to silence me, has filed a privacy violation complaint against the video I made in an attempt to apologize to her for my hasty generalization of the personality she seemed to be putting forward. Funny how it turns out that this assessment was spot on, somewhat negating the purpose of my making that video in the first place. If you would like to verify my actions, I have included a link to the original content in the description of this video, and I suggest you check it out sooner rather than later in the event that YouTube ignores their own rules and strikes it anyway. In any event, this is the notification that I received from YouTube about the complaint being filed against me. Dear JT Viper, this is to notify you that we have received a privacy complaint from an individual regarding your content. The information reported as violating privacy is at 00_00_00. Yeah, she didn't even include the timestamp. That's how lazy this is. We would like to give you an opportunity to remove or edit the private information within the content reported. You have 48 hours to take action on the complaint. If you remove the alleged violation from the site within the 48 hours, the complaint filed will then be closed. If the potential violation remains on the site after 48 hours, the complaint will be reviewed by the YouTube team and may be removed pursuant to our privacy guidelines. Alleged violations commonly occur within the video content. YouTube offers a custom blurring tool, which allows you to blur anything in your video, including individuals or information. For more information on this blurring feature, visit the Creator blog and Help Center. Alleged violations may also occur in the title, description, or tags of your video. YouTube offers metadata editing tools, which you can access by going to My Videos and clicking the Edit button on the reported video. Making a video private is not an appropriate method of editing, as the status can be changed from private to public at any time. Because they can be turned off at any time, annotations are also not considered an acceptable solution. We're committed to protecting our users and hope that you understand the importance of respecting others' privacy. When uploading videos in the future, please remember not to post someone else's image or personal information without their consent. Personal information includes, but is not limited to, social security number, national identification number, bank account number or contact information, e.g. home address, email address. For more information, please review our privacy guidelines. And because I am somebody who does quite appreciate more information, I did review their privacy guidelines, and that's what brings us here. You see, having dealt with this before, I was able to draft up a fairly quick email to the support team, which I have included in the description of that video being claimed. Dear YouTube support team, I believe this privacy complaint to not only be false, but to be nefarious and malicious in its nature. It is my understanding that privacy complaints cannot be submitted by a third party on behalf of a particular individual, and thus I have a legitimate reason to believe that this complaint was filed by Miranda Boyce. What you are likely unaware of is the history between Miss Boyce and myself, that is to say, her ongoing harassment of myself and a number of my friends and acquaintances. I have had an issue in the past with another false privacy complaint, so I will be relatively short in my response to this one. First, YouTube's privacy complaint page states under How does YouTube determine if a content should be removed for privacy violation? Examples that would not violate our privacy guidelines include gamer tags, avatar names, and address information in which the individual is not named. We also take ellipses, consent into account. I already covered that earlier. Under these guidelines, and as per her actions on Twitter, it can be demonstrated that Miss Boyce was aware of the fact that she was making her name public information as she used it for her Twitter handle, which was public at the time of this video's recording, and thus consented under YouTube and Twitter's respective terms of service to having that information made available to the public. My video lists her Twitter handle, which is tantamount to a gamer tag, with there being no way of my knowing whether or not that is her actual name beyond her publicly admitting this to be the case. And second, YouTube requires that an individual be, quote, uniquely identifiable, end quote, based upon the information provided in the contested content. As the only information I was able to share with anyone would be the voluntarily provided and unverifiable Twitter handle of Ms. Boyce, this information, unless she publicly admits to it being her proper name, which would amount to consent to the distribution of such information, does not include any of the offending types of information, i.e. image, voice, full name, SSN, bank account number, home address, or email address. And finally, third, I would like to draw YouTube's attention to the fact that Miss Boyce is flagrantly violating the law in her repeated attacks on myself through the comment sections of my YouTube videos. I have attached a screenshot in which I request that she cease her campaign against me on the grounds that I consider her recurring, unwanted, unwelcome comments to be vexatious in nature, and in which she blatantly defies this request to continue harassing me, even acknowledging that her actions are in violation of Canadian criminal law. I understand that my language is not entirely respectable in all of this, but my conduct up to that point of the comment was cool, collected, and respectful. A person can only be asked to endure so much abuse politely. I would like information on filing a request to have Miranda Boyce's YouTube account suspended or removed from the platform as of this complaint. I have legitimate reason to believe that she is intentionally engaging in dishonest conduct, submitting false privacy complaints, in an effort to harass and intimidate me, and I believe this to be in violation of the spirit of the platform. Regards, JT Viper. And this is the point where I go off script, where I go a little Viper unscripted for all of you in wrapping up this unholy shit show of a saga, because as of right now, I am waiting for the YouTube support team to investigate this video. In the meantime, I would like to make a polite request to everyone to take these two videos that I have mentioned in this particular piece of content, my video on Mike Riverso and my video which was an attempt to apologize, absolutely unwarranted at this point, to Miranda Boyce for generalizations that turned out to be oddly accurate, and share the hell out of them. Share the hell out of them. Barbara Streisand the hell out of this motherfucker. Because you know what? That's how you win. If they want to shut it down, and they want to use underhanded, dishonest tactics like this, fine. Let them. They can't win. You keep your nose clean, you follow the guidelines, you play it right to the line and no further. And by playing it right to toe in that line, you will drive them up the wall. And then they've got nothing. They have no choice but to either accept that you are playing within the rules laid out for you by the various platforms, or they can try and put out false, malicious complaints such as these, in which case they demonstrate that they're really not worthy of being on these platforms, that they're not the just and honorable crusaders that they envision themselves to be. So in any case, thank you to everyone who has watched this video. I know there are a few people who are uniquely interested in it, and if you need any more information from me on the Miranda Boyce saga and anything else that may or may not happen as this goes on, please, by any and all means, DM me on Twitter, totally open on there, just send me a message, I'll get right back to you as soon as I can. And absolutely, please, leave a comment down below in this video. Odds are, you may even be visited by that ghost of YouTube fucked, Miranda Boyce herself, because she has been trolling my videos and the videos of others, and the second she spots her name, man, doesn't she just latch onto that shit. So, I'm just saying, if you'd like to have a polite discussion with her in the comments, it might be possible, if she can maintain being polite, because I'm sure that my regular viewers and subscribers are more than capable of doing so. Anyway, thank you very much. This has been another Viper video. Hope you've learned something. Hope it helps you out in the future. And again, if people come at you with this sort of weak-ass shit, let me know. I will help you out if I can. Have a good day, good night, good afternoon, good morning, good whatever it is, wherever you are. Viper out.